Welcome to the Chucklers podcast. This is episode number 22. Today we have a good old friend, Victor. Victor, introduce yourself to the Chucklers. Say hello.
Hi, I'm Victor.
That's a great start.
That's it. Thank you.
Like I said, this is episode number 22, which means that episode 21 was just a week ago, and it got lit.
It was lit. It was lit.
It was lit.
At some level.
I mean, you're 21, you know?
Yeah.
When you're 21, everything's lit.
Kind of blacked out during the middle of the episode.
That's why it was so short, because the podcast itself couldn't even handle it.
Mm-hmm.
It was so inebriated.
Yeah. Tapped out early.
But so in the last podcast, we talked a lot about sports. We talked a lot about we kind of intermingled it with, once again, like business and interests and all that. And so we're gonna continue on with interests. And I just like I guess let me quickly talk about how I met Victor, because this is an interesting story.
Yeah.
I was 17, and Victor was older than me.
Yeah.
And I got into this strange craze of crystals for a little bit, and that led me to a little store nearby in town, and I ended up emailing them, and I got the job. And I walk in one day and I see this curly headed dude, big hair, and somehow we hit it off. It was pretty nice.
Yeah. Don't link to that video.
Don't. I won't link to it.
Okay.
I promise. I swear I really won't. Am I too sorry? Do I sound too sarcastic?
No, it's fine.
And so we sold rocks for a good 2 years together.
Yeah.
Lots of rocks that supposedly had some healing and or extracurricular powers.
Yeah.
What an odd way to put that.
Well, because like you can't say it's like
supernatural,
because they don't do anything.
Oh yeah.
You know, just like this the placebo effect in a sense.
Yeah.
This idea that if I believe in something enough, it'll probably happen.
Which is 20% effective.
Is it?
Yeah.
So
I feel like for a while I did. I was like, I was a little bit happier in that phase.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, at least at the beginning, until I realized like, wait, I can be a lot happier without needing all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's a backwards way of believing in yourself.
Yeah, and that's a weird culture to get in. If anybody's in that culture, go ahead and leave. Just there's too many.
There's a lot of
the amount of there was a bunch of times where I noticed that the logic just did not add up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you would say one thing, you would say the other thing, and be like, why are we saying these things if they literally contradict each other? You know, but the best thing that I learned about Victor is about this love or obsession. What would you call it? Interest. You don't want to sound
deep interest.
Deep interest in anime.
Yeah.
And what else? What else? I mean, I know nothing about this. What would you call it? What would you say?
What do you mean?
As in, like, so, like, you went to this convention. What was it about?
Right. What convention?
What convention?
Anime Central, ASEN.
Okay.
It's
I don't know what any of that means.
Okay.
It's
Explain that to a rookie.
It's one of the bigger Midwest anime conventions. I started going because of Final Fantasy.
I don't know.
That's kind of the video game series.
Is that the one with like Mickey Mouse in it?
No,
that's Magic Kingdom.
Okay. Hearts, but that is half Final Fantasy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting there.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're just not totally right.
All right.
Yeah.
So keep going.
Yeah. So that video game kind of
started it all.
Yeah.
Really? Wait, you know about this too?
ASEN? And I watch anime too. I went to ASEN a couple of years ago because my cousin, he got tickets, and he's way more into it than I was, and so I just drove him.
Wow.
ASEN is pretty cool. It's a lot of conventions, or the ones that I've been to are a lot of vendors. This one doesn't have a panel, I think. Or speakers and stuff like that. It's the part that I went to was mainly vendors, and so just people who are really passionate about making things for like anime, video games,
Yeah.
like movies, stuff like that. They just go there and just sell a whole bunch of custom-made products or
Interesting.
like custom like design stuff, you know. So like artwork. I saw some like custom props that they were selling. So it's pretty big. It's a good time, even if you're not into anime.
Yeah, but that's the question: is what made this like? Would you call it a culture? What made it so popular?
It's a culture. I think
Yeah.
Sailor
What-
Moon and Dragon Ball Z had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Toonami, I think, really launched the States into anime.
Yeah.
You see, but even I watched Dragon Ball Z, and then that was kind of it, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Have you watched Harry Potter movies?
No.
Oh, okay, that's a bad example.
Well, I've seen
Um,
some of the. Yes, I've seen some. Sorry.
So there are people who are fanatical about it,
Yeah.
right? It's like you probably like enjoyed like some like long-standing series, you know. Some
Yeah.
people just really enjoyed it. You
Okay.
know? So
And then
it's a
just like
hobby.
went
That's a
hardcore
hobby.
into it, and then
yeah.
the lead way into these like because I have a cousin Eric.
Cousin Eric.
Cousin Eric, who that's a bad joke. Who he's like obsessed with this stuff, but I don't get how you start. You know, like he just dove into it like it was nothing. I guess I can't understand.
At least here. So sorry.
No,
if you
no.
want to, I was gonna
I guess
say,
maybe a best way to put it is what was kind of like the track for you guys individually as to like, you know, I started off with this and then I really got into these things and then that finally got me here.
I mean, I grew up watching anime on Toonami and, you know, Digimon in the
Yeah.
Saturday mornings, that sort of
Mhm.
thing. But Square Enix, Squaresoft, they're really what pushed me into it. Final Fantasy, and then from there, you know, you just hear other animes that people suggest to you, and then you like it or you don't. Some people can't get over the sexual noises that the anime girls make, but it's
Yeah.
not all anime. Like, I think when I have
That
a lot
is
of friends that are
confusing.
like, I can't deal with that. And
From
I'm
the
just
outside,
like,
that's very confusing.
Yeah, and it's just
Like
that's
that.
that's only like some of them, you know.
Is it a good amount based on the idea of sex
No.
or like sexual
I wouldn't say-
characteristics? No.
I mean, it's like a lot of American media like has sexual appeal in it,
Yeah.
right? And of course, like if you go into one specific thing, of course, like you might find more examples of it or less examples of it. I mean, like anime it's a type of show,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of genres within that.
Yeah. So what is the difference between anime and manga? I've never understood that.
Manga is the comic.
Oh, so
Yeah.
that's it. And then the
Yeah, it's
anime
just
is
the print.
the animation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Usually the manga precedes.
Does that term derive from animation?
Yeah.
I guess so.
think
Yeah.
You assume so?
Japanese animation. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Gosh, that's so weird.
It's good.
We talked about this a little bit earlier, but how did the furries get into that?
Okay, so ASIN also has raves. There's 2 raves every year. And I was explaining to Omar earlier that some people will go to ASIN just for the raves. They'll just pay the admission fee for the party. And,
Interesting.
So the raves have all different kinds of people there. There's the partiers, there's the total dweebs, and then, you know, everyone in between. And there's also furries. that
And then there were furries.
Yeah.
And then there were furries.
Which, I mean, they have their own convention, so they could stay away from ASAN for all I don't know.
How did that? Oh gosh, there's just so many. Like, I'm genuinely intrigued, but at the same time, like, how did all this happen? You know, like, how did all this stuff come to be? Because it seems so left field in terms of just like
Furries?
the standard American culture. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, like, you've watched Animal Planet, right? Some
kinda.
people are really into it. It's just like Harry Potter fandoms,
Yeah.
except for animals. No, it's... I can't come up with anything past that. I can only joke about
I
it.
really don't know
Yeah.
much about.
You just have to be into animals that much.
I really don't understand.
Like
it.
the whole like
I mean, to each their own. But
the whole yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah,
You're
that's
not hurting anyone.
what I'm
No.
saying. But like, you know, the bronies. That's the only thing.
But that's
I
a
can come up
separate-
with.
I
Oh,
think
that's a
that's
separate.
a-
Wait,
yeah.
that's not furries.
I think there's some crossover. There's
Okay.
like a Venn diagram of.
It's Venn
Can we
diagram.
pull up
It
that
has
Venn
to be like
diagram,
a
please?
3D Venn diagram,
Yeah.
because there's so many things.
Because
there's-
like,
yeah.
look, I can relate. I'm really into Batman animations.
Okay.
I don't really watch I've never really watched the actual, like, what do they call it? Live action ones with Christian Bale and Ben Affleck, whatever. But I really like the animations. I mean, you can see that in the set here with, you know, I just love the animation aspect of it and the whole story behind Batman. So I can understand, you know, having a passion for something like a certain type of animation, a certain type of characters and everything. But furries, I just...
No, I don't get furries. Yeah, I don't get furries at all.
I don't dress... I mean, some people do, and that's fine. But I don't want to dress up like Batman and have sex.
I think there's a good Netflix documentary about the furry culture.
So I'm recently finding out, because that was my understanding of furries too, is it was just sexual, but
it's not.
I guess it's not.
But you know it is. Nah, dude, it's an art. It's like,
so what did you learn then?
I guess there's... I don't know if it's like the anonymity of it, or... I don't know.
Jesus, that's creepy.
There's something more to it than sex, I guess. I don't really know.
Well, you know what? While we try and figure this out, let's really quick just go to our sponsors. We'd like to thank our sponsors, who are...
On all levels except physical, I am a wolf.
Thank you to our sponsors. Once again, we have this issue with not having a sponsor stick with us for longer than a week. But we do have one every week, so we must be in demand.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
And for some reason, they're only buying 6-second spots on our show.
Nothing longer.
Which just so I don't know. It's so weird.
Eventually, you think they'd run out of 6-second things.
I wish there was like some sort of way to compile all of these sponsors. You know. Anyway.
But besides that, back to the so what about furries did you learn? Like, it's more than just sex, supposedly.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I learned.
That's it?
It's not just innately sexual, I guess.
I feel like unless you back it up with some facts or some ideas, it's kind of hard. Victor comes out.
This is one coming out.
I believe I am a... Well, what was that, dude? I believe I am a...
and like all things other than sex,
physical, I'm a wolf. It's like,
Jesus.
oh man, you got there. Something about furries.
Does the crystal aspect at all correlate into you being? Did that culture kind of bring you into the crystals, or vice versa?
No.
Totally separate.
Totally separate. Yeah.
We've never talked about this.
No.
What kind of brought you into that? Because for me, maybe I'll start off. I always believed when I was a little kid that there was something more than just the reality.
Yeah.
Right? Which is, I think, pretty obvious. For most kids, anyways. Not Paul. And I was like, there's got to be something bigger than just, you go to work and then you chill out. I was naive at the time, obviously. Yeah. And then I found crystals and all these ideas of, we're like more than just human beings, that we can like escape into this metaphysical world and whatnot. And, these stones can help you unlock certain like maybe powers, maybe just like abilities.
Yeah. And
so that was cool. But then, I obviously the logic eventually came back around and I was like, well, that doesn't make sense. And we talked about this, but then we said that, and you realize that none of that makes sense. So what was kind of the thing that drew you into it?
I always...
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Anyway.
As a kid,
Yeah, you're good, don't worry.
My mom was raised Italian. I got
Wait,
23andMe.
she was raised Italian, but she's not?
I got a genetic... I did the 23andMe, and
I don't know about that.
Not Italian at all, but like they have an Italian surname.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like Ukrainian, but...
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay,
like
that's funny.
2.5%.
That's interesting.
But side note, Italians are pretty superstitious, and they believe in ghosts and like psychics and that sort of thing. Like psychic dreams and that sort of thing was always like a big part of how I was raised. Ghosts and that sort of thing. But Yeah, so I was always into it. I'd read about it. I'd go to the library a lot.
And so that kind of just led into going to the store and whatnot.
Then, I was hanging out with friends one time, and they were like, you should check out this store.
And you applied?
And then, it just kind of... Well, fun. No, actually... No, I didn't really apply.
Really?
I helped found... I asked a question. I asked if there was a group for, like, youths, teenagers, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the owner said that there were a lot of people that were approaching her expressing interest in the same thing. So we like all co-founded a group, and then I moved to California and I came back and
it was gone. It was gone. Or
No, it was still there. It was still there. But they offered me a position when I came back.
Oh wow.
Back. That's how I ended up working there. But yeah.
Nice.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it wasn't the anime. I think maybe it is a little correlated.
Right, because like with Dragon Ball Z, it was like those balls, you put them together.
Yeah, now that I think about it, maybe the interest in anime was because a lot of it is fantasy based or like superpower based.
Yeah.
So I think.
So you see like a correlation.
Yeah, maybe there is something there.
Yeah, I mean, like in a lot of anime that I watch, there's like a big emphasis on like, like any like regular kid, or like it's usually like a regular kid.
Who turns out not to be regular.
Yeah, who turns out not to be regular, like they encounter this one thing.
Joey was just a boy, and
then his life turned upside down. And then so sometimes it's like a demon like comes and like chills with him, and now it's cool. Or like there's usually something.
I don't know.
There's usually like a catalyst that turns normal into the abnormal, right? And so
Notebook falling from the sky.
Yeah, that too.
Death Note. Don't watch the live action version.
No, it's not fun.
Anyway, but yeah, if I can like diverge from this real quick.
Sure.
In anime, I've noticed that like there's a weird Japanese fascination with blood. I don't know if you've noticed that or not.
Does it become alive?
No, it's just like there's like a lot of like blood references, right? And so I'm watching My Hero Academia, right? And so like in the middle of like the episodes, it'll be like a commercial.
You just got done watching this, didn't you, today?
Not today. Two
okay.
days ago. But like in the middle like cards where like there'd be commercial breaks, they do like a little info card on like the characters, and they put blood type, like blood type AB and stuff like that. And then also I'm trying to remember in another anime. I mean, like, I think in, like, the Fate series, there's, like, a blood pact that you have to form with your thing. And then in Kill la Kill, like, the entire thing is based off of, like, blood, And so it's just, like, what's the fascination with blood, Like,
I think I might have some input for that. Well, I know, like, the blood type thing, it's, like, a superstition.
Yeah, right?
It's like Zodiac.
Yeah.
Like your blood type kind of defines your personality.
Supposedly. And your diet.
Supposedly. Yeah. just like Zodiac would. But I think also in like traditional Chinese medicine, blood plays a big role. I think that's like they kind of think of it as like something that transports energy, just like
it kind of does.
Transports oxygen.
It's like transports
oxygen. Like chi,
Paul's talking about it literally. I mean, it kind of does.
It does. No, but like I totally get that. I mean, like I guess if you didn't know about like biological chemistry,
right?
Like if someone loses a lot of blood, they lose a lot
tired,
of blood.
Yeah,
they get tired. Obviously,
Life
like
force,
if you don't have enough blood, you die.
Yeah.
And so like one could obviously like correlate like blood means like life, like which means like there must be like something unique about blood. I guess it like just the way that like the cultures like happen, it just so happened that like they really lash onto blood instead of stuff like phenology, like it's the shape of your head. It's like that's
weird.
Yeah, that's not true.
Yeah, right.
But there's at least some like backing up like blood is like, or like blood types like do affect like immune systems and stuff like that.
Interesting.
So yeah,
but I have definitely noticed that too. And there's a lot of animes that their abilities are triggered by like, hurting themselves or like making a blood pact or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like
a couple that I can think of.
Also, besides blood, there's also like a weird fascination with Germany.
Yeah.
What?
What? They're really into Germans.
Yeah.
In, like, a very specific time period of, like, Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like the
They're
World
not
War, the World War II.
the World War II
The-
Germans.
The 20th
Why?
century.
I don't know.
What do they take from that time? I mean, is it
Well,
just
that's
literally
all
like
Architecture, the names.
Actually, a lot of medieval German stuff too, because it was Mobile Suit Gundam, Blood Iron Orphans, the I think I'm thinking of another thing, Al Noah Zero. Yeah, in Al Noah Zero, the robots are called cataphracts. Cataphracts were German armored cavalry. So they just like take all the
Weird.
words and stuff like that, and then
It's a
you
weird
know,
time period.
stuff like Jaegers, which is I forgot what anime uses that, but again,
What
just
are
random German
Jaegers
stuff.
besides
Jaeger
bombs?
means hunter.
Oh, so
What are
hunter
Jaegers?
bombs?
No, Jaeger is just a type of it's a drink, like it's a brand of drink, right? And it's just
Okay.
it's supposed to be like a super masculine drink, like Jaegers, like
Shit.
huntsman. and stuff like
Damn. Shoddy.
that.
Yo,
yeah.
Shoddy, I drink Jaegers. What up?
That sucks. Anyway,
There's no point to that.
so what's your favorite anime?
Oh, I don't know.
There's too many.
There's a lot. I don't know. I think.
Are you watching anything right now?
Yeah, I'm watching My Hero Academia. Yeah.
It's good.
Really?
It's good, yeah. I'm actually really behind. I've been meaning to watch it.
Too busy playing video games.
Too busy. Doing things that aren't important, like watching different anime, playing video games. Yeah, just things to keep me up.
I'm behind on watching this one anime because I'm busy watching the other one.
Yeah.
Oh
I know
my
that
God.
describes
Pretty
me like when trying to catch up with shows. Is like I remember that another show like is also a thing. It's like, oh yeah, like
Yeah,
I should watch
exactly,
that.
exactly.
And I forget.
Thank God for cues.
Oh my god, yeah.
Watch lists.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Maybe we should try to be sponsored by Crunchyroll or Verve.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have sponsored this show.
I got a good question for you. If you talking about animes and everything, what are what are two superpowers you would want to have from whatever animes? It doesn't even have to be the same one. They could be from separate ones.
Oh my god. I don't know.
Or like, let's expand it to like technologies, because like I would totally have Attack on Titan 3D maneuver gear.
Yeah.
It just seems like very practical.
If I knew what that was.
It's this gear that's around your waist and it launches like grappling hooks and you can just swing yourself all over.
Imagine like being Batman, except instead of it coming from your hands and your hands, it just comes from your hips. So that's a way to explain it.
It's pretty neat.
What about you?
As far as technology goes, I think that the Sword Art Online game would be really rad.
Dude, I mean that's like where I hope VR.
Yeah.
Oh no, I hope that when like VR like MMOs become like really big, I hope to God that someone makes a Sword Art Online. That'd be insane.
Yeah.
And also like, well, what would be the biggest April Fool's prank? It's like basically everyone who's online on April Fool's, suddenly you just see the screens like, yeah, you're trapped here. Nerve gear activated. Fuck. Yeah.
All right. But what about superpower? Like a superpower.
I don't know.
My vote would be half hot, half cold from My Hero Academia. I think I explained this with Brian. If you can, if you're a firebender, you basically control the flow of like heat energy, right? And that's basically like so you can
kill
potentially just
anybody.
blow up anything.
Yeah,
right?
that too.
So
Wow.
and also like freeze anything, and freezing things means like stopping motion. You're basically controlling the interaction of molecules.
Yeah.
What do you think, Zach?
So, half hot, half cold.
You've had a good amount of time, no?
I think bamfing would be pretty cool.
Bam.
Like short distance teleportation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I said two.
Oh, two.
I said
Oh,
two.
two.
Okay, your turn.
So you have to
again.
think harder. You have to think a little harder.
I mean,
Because the first one's easy, somewhat.
So this would be totally OP, but like, it's called the anime is Gargantua on the Arduous Sea. It's basically their mobile suit or their giant mech robots. It's basically like it's hyper intelligent, right? And the suit that you have to wear looks totally dope. Yeah. And so I just have that. Basically like a super overpowered like space mech. Yeah. Really pulling out.
Alright, Vic, you last one.
I really don't know.
That's
I
fine.
haven't really spent a lot of time thinking about that.
That's fine.
I spend too much time thinking about it.
Like, what power would I have?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it would be pretty useful to be super strong. It's like super basic and lame.
Yeah, no, that's
but
cool.
in combination with like bamfing, I think that would be.
Oh yeah.
It'd be pretty cool. Or maybe
shit out of anybody or anything.
I take that back. I would choose like perfect aim. Yeah.
Oh,
that'd be dope.
Wait, with super strength?
With anything?
Or
no, with
bamfing. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Combine
You'd be become like an amazing hitman.
Assassin is like
yeah.
the class that I'm going for.
Yeah. I spec'd into assassin. You know, like max agility, teleportation, stuff like that. Yeah.
If I were to pick one, but I'll say two. The first one is to be the most intelligent thing ever, because if you're the most intelligent human alive, right, or thing ever, you can figure out anything.
Yeah.
So that
because
like
you're Batman.
yeah, pretty much. And then I would definitely. Well, I mean, the thing is, like, it's kind of hard to say that I would have a second one, because if you really are like the smartest, most. It takes care of like virtually anything.
You could like augment yourself.
But if we're still sticking to physics that we currently know, I would definitely choose the ability to fly as a second one. I think those are just they're classics. They're very basic, but I think that it does sufficient amounts.
So like Tony Stark.
Well,
basically.
Yeah, I mean, I would think it would be like more of a supernatural flying aspect of it.
So basically, like, well, actually, the newest Tony Stark ones. I'm just like pulling out all the most obscure things right now. There's a Iron Man line that's going on, I think, right now, where Tony Stark made a suit based off of the Extremis virus or Extremis like gene or something like that. So basically, like the suit grows out of him. Like it's
yes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So like he can basically fly.
But the reason why I don't like Tony Stark is because I think he's just not a cooler version of Batman. Or that he is a cooler version of Batman. Yeah. That he's not a cooler version of Batman. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean,
because like Batman,
Tony Stark's just like a I don't think he has he's a technical genius, but
not the detectiveness and
Bruce Wayne is just like a
skill
genius, like a master tactician, basically.
Yeah. And like, don't get me wrong, I definitely think, because it's been like fought out a few times now where it's Batman versus Iron Man. Right. Most of the time Iron Man wins. Even then though, I could still say I think Batman has, if they were, quote unquote, they were to actually fight, not just like simulation, but let's say like there was supposedly a legit Batman and Iron Man in our time, I think Batman would win, no doubt. Because what they're doing with these simulations, they're taking them into a confined like exhibit and just using whatever attributes that they think they can come up with. But in reality, we don't know what Batman's capable of. Although
you can guess from like what's been in the comics and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think maybe Iron Man might lose because he's arrogant. That too. The whole psychological. Yeah. That's a big thing, actually. I would
also,
agree.
like, if it came down to, like, hand-to-hand combat, Batman is still...
Oh, right.
Okay, well, Batman could just make an Iron Man
he
suit, right?
could, yeah.
Like a bat suit.
Yeah.
He did it for Superman.
Those attributes are never, like, included in those fights. You can't really. That's whole psychology.
Well, I have to say Batman with prep. If they just came, like, regular old Batman with the utility belt and then Iron Man...
With the iron suit.
Yeah, it's
Iron Man would obviously win.
Pulsar blast from like a kilometer away. It's like, yeah, Batman's dying. But like Batman with prep. That's why the meme Batman with prep like wins everything is a thing, because like
that's true.
It's true.
No.
I actually saw a video analyzing Batman versus Black Panther, and not a lot of people know this, but Black Panther is as smart at, or in some storylines, he's as smart as Bruce Wayne, but he's willing to kill people, right? And so the video was the Bat Family versus Black Panther and like his posse of like master assassins and stuff like that, and Black Panther won.
Damn.
So because it's basically two genius like techno giants, right, fighting it out, except one of them is willing to kill. So that's how that storyline goes. So in reality, if you wanted to say like, or if you wanted to be like, for you, the villain that, or the superhero that you'd most want to emulate might be Black Panther, because he doesn't have limits, and his parents are alive, I think. I'm not sure. Probably.
What about was it Dr. Manhattan, Mr. Manhattan?
Oh, Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
That's kind of ridiculous. He's super smart because like he's omnipotent almost.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's ridiculous. Also, like, he can control matter itself.
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
I think it would be super.
And I think Batman would proud.
I think it'd be super lonely to be like the smartest person in the world.
It is. Yeah, like isn't like the smartest person in the world, or like IQ wise, aren't they a bodyguard?
What?
Yeah, I swear I just heard this. Like the highest IQ ever recorded belongs to a man who's just a bodyguard or like a bouncer. Yeah.
I guess if you're at such a level where any any discussion to a normal human, that would seem like super technical. At your level, it seems like super menial. So how can you have like any interesting conversation with anyone?
Yeah.
You know, it's like you are so like you think about the world so fundamentally differently. You know, it's like I can't even begin to try to relate. You know,
it's crazy.
Yeah, unless
so crazy.
The only thing that would make it not lonely, I guess, would be if you're smart enough to really understand emotion too.
That too.
The chemical reactions that emotion makes.
That's the thing, though.
If you're empathetic.
It's kind. Do you agree or disagree that logic is kind of like at war with emotion?
Oh yeah, it definitely is.
Right.
Yeah,
I think so.
So if you're so wired into logic, does that just negate emotion? Because emotion is irrational.
I guess. I mean, I feel like since emotion is like very heavily tied into your body's chemistry, right? All these chemicals pumping, like hormones and stuff like that. I think like emotion can like. There's definitely instances where like you know that you should do this, but despite that, your emotions will push you to do the other thing, just because it's like, the chemical reactions just make it so So math works out, but your brain doesn't care.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Are we good there? You happy?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I don't
All right.
know how long it was.
All right, guys. We thank you for joining us for episode 22.
22. It's a palindrome number.
What he said. We'd like to thank Victor for coming out so far away. I mean, dude, honestly, thank you. I'm sure at some point you woke up around 2 p.m. and was like, oh, man, I got to go to this thing. I got to wake up to go to this thing. Why did I agree to this a month ago?
No, I wasn't like that.
No, I was just messing around. But this is episode number 22. As always, go ahead and check out our website. It's linked down below in the description.
Probably.
Check out the vlog that I do every week, Tuesday through Saturday. And I might actually have a bonus one for Sunday. I'm thinking about it because this Saturday, tomorrow, which is going to be a week ago from when this come out, going to be lit. So there's no point in telling you.
June 2nd.
Just check out the vlog. Just check out the vlog in general. It's going to be great. Thanks to Paul, as always, for being my co-host, and thanks to myself for making this happen. It sounds horrible enough.
Yeah, jeez.
We'll
fix it in post.
Yeah, you guys have a great day. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Have a great day, everyone.